Welcome to Lead Wisely by WonderTour. We are going to start with some tough questions about leadership by looking at popular media properties. So, what does the movie Interstellar by Christopher Nolan tell us about how humans should pursue and leverage technology? So, Drew, why don't you just kick us off? Give me a moment at the beginning, early in this movie, where we start to think about this element. What is Interstellar's viewpoint on technology?
This is a great one, Brian. In our first 100 episodes that we did via podcast, we looked at Interstellar a couple times. This is my favorite movie of all time. That's why we're starting here with Lead Wisely. There's so many tech moments in this movie. To me, what sticks out is the overall theme of how Cooper interacts with technology. Cooper is this brilliant tech expert, right? He's an engineer. He's developed all this automation around his farm. He's tracking down this drone at the beginning of the movie. And it really shows us that in this world where it's all about survival, it's all about how much food do we have left? Are we going to be able to have medical supplies to be able to overcome the next crisis? Cooper is always looking beyond that. And to me, what's interesting is what his disposition is towards technology. Each of us has a lot to think about as leaders moving forward. Technology has increased at an increasing rate, it feels like, over the past couple of years, culminating with the moment that we're in right now with, Gen AI, and how fast is that going to move and what implications is it going to have on the way that we live, the way that we work together, the relationships that we have, right? So for me, it's not about, for Cooper, how good he is with technology or any of these things, but instead it's about the fact that he sees technology as a way to accomplish his mission, as a way to pursue purpose. And I think that is what we can take away as leaders here. So maybe, Brian, let me turn it back over to you. Talk to me about how Cooper exhibits that purpose, how he uses technology to accomplish his purpose. And then we can start to iterate around how we can use it to accomplish our purpose and not to create more problems and pain.
Yeah, and I think we'll get into this much deeper as we go through this episode here. But just for this intro, what I want to suggest is that the scene with the drone is really great because it lays out a couple themes we're going to talk about in this movie. But Cooper at the moment has a purpose that he's not very excited about, but he's sort of shackled to, right? He's a farmer and he has to make food. He wants to be a pilot. He wants to be an explorer. He wants to be a leader of new frontiers, but he's a farmer, right? So he's been repurposed, but he's made that decision for himself, right? His circumstances have forced him to decide, like, okay, well, if I'm going to be a farmer, I'm going to be a farmer who uses automation, and I'm going to be a farmer who, tries to find ways to, maximize my available resources. This Indian drone that's been flying around the world for 15 years and has finally come down, he's going to go lobotomize it, take its brain out, and put it in a tractor. It's also getting repurposed, right? He's using technology to serve his purpose. He's giving it a new purpose, but it doesn't get to decide, right? He's not implying that this AI drone has decided that it wants to become a tractor, right? It's showing us that Cooper, as the human, it has the agency here and is deciding what the appropriate thing is to do in his environment. And he's leveraging technology whatever way he can. And we're going to see that recurring throughout the course of this movie. We're going to see humans struggling with their purposes and humans struggling with how to best maximize the resources and technologies they have around them. But there are pitfalls around making the technology the purpose. There are pitfalls about trusting the technology blindly to tell you what to do. And we'll see some of that in the movie too. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. This is going to be great.
And isn't that something that we see right now today? It seems like technology does good things for us. There's other times we look at it and it does bad things for us. There's meh technology where some good, some bad. That's probably where a lot of it sits. There's it's yet to be revealed technology where it's like, I don't know yet about Gen AI. Like, could be good, could be bad, something like that. But when we really take a step back from is technology good, is technology bad, and instead focus on a mission, focus on purpose, focus on humanity and not on the technology itself, I think that's how we're going to see Cooper be successful and eventually accomplish this great feat that he and Murph and the other scientists and heroes of this movie accomplish.
Yeah, and this will be, coming from two self-professed technology nerds who are trying to learn how to become wiser leaders. That's going to be the whole point of this conversation, right? And of our next batch of episodes here on Wonder Tours, we're going to be talking about technology and humans and how they interact and how do we best leverage it and what leadership lessons can we learn from that. So with that, I think it might be time to cue the intro music. Hi, I'm Brian Nutwell.
And I'm Drew Perot.
And we are on a journey to become better leaders by touring fantastic worlds and inspiring lore by going on a Wonder Tour.
We connect leadership concepts to story context because it sticks to our brains better. You can find out more at WonderTourPodcast.com.
Now, you may be new to us here at Wonder Tour. This is a new initiative for us, moving to the video format. So we have 100 episodes of a podcast under our belts where we have taken popular media properties that you have almost certainly heard of and most likely watched, everything from Star Wars to the Marvel movies to the Christopher Nolan adventures. And we have been using them to tease out universal leadership lessons and theories about how people solve problems together and how they use the tools and environment around them and what this concept of a magnanimous leader looks like to us and how we can leverage those lessons in our business lives and our everyday lives as leaders, especially in the technology space, but really not limiting to that. So on the backside of those 100 episodes, we're really excited to revisit one of our favorite movies, Interstellar, which is both a delightful movie and a really rich source of conversation. And in this moment, as Drew mentioned in our intro, we're going to spend the next couple episodes talking specifically about humans and machines and how they interact and how leaders should think about taking advantage of technology, whether that's physical technology or the digital technologies that we've known and loved for the last 30 years, or this emerging class of cognitive digital technologies around generative AI and some of those related tools, which ask a lot of really compelling questions about how should we behave and what purpose should we have. So that's going to be our sort of the angle we'd like to take on it. And with that, we are going to add a new element to our branding. So Lead Wisely is the title of this podcast as part of the Wonder Tour empire. So we're really looking forward to having you along with us for the ride. And let's get started with the conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, for reminding everybody kind of where we've been and where we're going. And for us, Wonder Tour has always just been about how can we learn these lessons faster? How can we make them more impactful? And what we noticed was we love traditional leadership content. That stuff is all really, really good. We love self-development content, but connecting it to stories is what allows us to be able to contextualize it for our own scenarios, to be able to see like, oh, hey, like maybe am I the Luke Skywalker in this situation? Am I the Han Solo in this situation? Could I act like this character acts in this scene, and maybe what would be the results of that?